I
Stay off my
swear,
lawn!
I
You
used to
hear
think my
me?
neighborhood
Stay
was
off my
normal,
lawn!
What are you
calm,
doing?
boring even. The
I am
kind of place where
recording this
people
right
waved
now.
while walking their
I don't
dogs,
care if you're
complained
recording
about
this.
gas
You
prices,
deserve this.
and argued about who had the best mulch.
Are you
But then I met
serious right
Karen.
now? Look at what you're doing.
Karen wasn't just a regular HOA Karen. No, this woman acted like the HOA handbook was the sacred text of the universe, and she was the chosen prophet sent to interpret it for us lesser mortals. My first encounter with her happened 3 months after I moved in. I was outside watering my lawn, just minding my business, when I heard this sharp ahem. Not a normal ahem either. The kind of ahem that sounded like someone had swallowed a whistle. I turned around and there she was. Hands on hips, sunglasses tilted down just enough so I knew she was judging me, clipboard tucked under her arm like a deputy sheriff. She looked at me like I had personally offended her ancestors. "You know," she said, "the HOA regulations state that watering should only be done between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. I checked the time. It was 8:57 a.m. I was well within range. But Karen didn't operate on the same timeline as the rest of humanity. I politely explained, but she cut me off before I could finish. "It's the spirit of the rule," she snapped, "not the technicality." That was the moment I realized this woman lived in her own parallel dimension, a world where she controlled time, space, and definitely everyone else's property. She went on and on about how maintaining the integrity of the community requires personal sacrifice, and how she took it upon herself to lead by example. Keep that phrase in mind. Karen loved leading by example. A few days later, she came to my door again, this time to warn me about the color of my garden hose. Apparently, the green was too vibrant. Too vibrant for nature. Let that sink in. I laughed because I genuinely thought she was joking. She wasn't. She wrote me up for a visual disruption violation. That's when everything started spiraling. She began hovering near my yard more and more, walking slower whenever she passed by, squinting like she was solving a crime. And one day she approached me with that same whistle, ahem, and said, "Your lawn looks unnatural." Unnatural. Why? Because it was healthy? She told me the HOA was monitoring suspiciously vibrant lawns as part of a new environmental compliance initiative. I swear she makes up a new rule every time she blinks. At this point, I knew I had moved into the wrong dimension, but I had no idea just how delusional she could get. Not until the night, I caught her on my lawn with a giant bag of something. Something white, and something deadly. It started with the smell. A weird, harsh, stinging smell that drifted through my window one night. I thought maybe a fertilizer truck had passed by. Nothing unusual. But the next morning when I stepped outside, I felt that dread. My lawn looked off. Not dead, but patchy, like something was draining the life out of it. I knelt down, touched the grass, and felt these tiny granules. Salt. Someone had spread salt all over my yard. I was furious, but also confused. Who would do that? I walked over to check my doorbell camera, scanned the footage, and there she was. Karen, creeping across my lawn at 11:46 p.m., with a massive industrial-sized bag slung over her shoulder like the world's angriest Christmas elf. I played it again. She wasn't just sprinkling salt. She was chanting, softly, something like, "Be cleansed, be purified, rid this land of impurities." My lawn wasn't dying. Karen was exorcising it. I stormed outside, ready to confront her. She was already on her morning walk, acting innocent. "Karen," I yelled. She froze like a raccoon caught in headlights. "Did you put something on my lawn?" She clutched her chest dramatically. "I was blessing it." "Blessing it?" "Yes," she said, like it was obvious. "Your lawn has been unnaturally green, unnaturally bright. It was disrupting the natural balance of the neighborhood's earth energy." I blinked. "Karen, you poured salt. Salt kills grass." She scoffed. "No, salt purifies. Everyone knows that. I saw it in a documentary on spiritual landscaping." Spiritual landscaping. I tried explaining that salt kills plants. She waved her hand like I was a child. You wouldn't understand. You're new. I showed her the doorbell footage on my phone. Her face turned red, not with shame, but with rage. How dare you spy on your neighbors, she snapped. Cameras are invasive. It's my front door camera. That's even worse. At this point, she was yelling loud enough for people 3 houses away to peek out their windows. She accused me of harboring aggressive vegetation, disrupting soil harmony, and my favorite, committing botanical fraud. Then she threatened to write me up for creating hostility in the community. I walked away, but inside I was done. Fully done. I knew if I didn't put a stop to her insanity, my lawn and my sanity wouldn't survive the month. But I never expected things to escalate the way they did. Because the next night Karen returned with twice as much salt. And this time she wasn't chanting blessings. She was screaming them. Please like this video and subscribe if you're loving this. It was 2:13 a.m. I woke up because someone was yelling outside, loud, like a frustrated opera singer. I rushed to the window and froze. Karen was in my yard again. But this time she was pouring salt like she was salting a highway before a snowstorm. Huge arcs of it splashing across the grass, her hair wild, her eyes glowing with unhinged determination. "Be cleansed, wicked earth!" she screamed. I ran outside, phone recording. "Karen, what are you doing?" She spun around dramatically. "I'm saving the neighborhood. Your grass is a curse, a blight, a threat to natural order." "You're killing it. You're literally killing my lawn. It must be sacrificed." I swear she said sacrificed. My neighbors started coming out of their houses, some in pajamas, some filming too. Everyone stared in disbelief as Karen marched around my yard like a deranged priestess. She lifted the bag over her head, yelling, "You're welcome, everyone. I'm taking action since the HOA refuses to." Someone from across the street yelled, "Karen, go home." She screamed back, "I am the only one who cares about soil health." I called the police. Not because I wanted to, because she was destroying thousands of dollars worth of landscaping. Officers arrived within minutes. Karen looked at them like they were backup. She summoned. "Officers," she shouted, pointing at me. "Arrest him! His lawn is committing environmental manipulation." One officer blinked. "What?" She jabbed her finger toward my grass. "Look at it. No grass is that green naturally. He's using illegal fertilizer." The officer turned to me. I handed him my phone with the recording. He watched Karen salting my yard like she was blessing a medieval battlefield. He winced. "Ma'am, you can't do this." "Yes, I can," she barked. "I am protecting the neighborhood." The second officer stepped closer. "You're trespassing and causing property damage." Karen gasped dramatically, as if they'd accused her of treason. You don't understand my mission." "No, ma'am," the officer said. "We understand perfectly, and you need to come with us." Karen backed away, clutching the salt bag. "Don't touch me, this is sacred work." They didn't arrest her, but they escorted her home after she refused to leave my property. Even then, she kept yelling about earth energy, soil spirits, and dangerously ambitious lawns. I looked around at the neighbors, most of them whispering and shaking their heads. My lawn looked like a winter storm had hit only my yard. The next morning, huge patches had already turned brown. Karen walked by, chin high, and said, "You'll thank me when the earth recovers." I didn't thank her. I called a lawyer, and that's where things truly got interesting. Please like and subscribe. The landscapers who came to inspect my lawn confirmed the obvious. Karen had caused thousands of dollars in damage. Salt kills grass, it kills soil, sometimes for years. I filed a claim with the HOA. They denied responsibility immediately. Then Karen doubled down. She told the board that she had performed a community service. She wrote a full-page statement titled, "The Earth Cleanliness Initiative." She argued that my lawn was unnaturally vibrant and had disturbed the natural chakra alignment of the neighborhood. I'm not making that up. She really wrote chakra. The HOA demanded a hearing. I showed them the footage of her trespassing twice, killing my grass, screaming at officers, and literally chanting exorcism phrases. The board members stared at the screen in stunned silence. Karen interrupted every 5 seconds to say things like, "That video is taken out of context." I was in a protective trance. "That angle makes me look aggressive." But then the HOA president said something I didn't expect. "Karen, you've been warned about interfering with neighbors' property before." Before? Turns out she had blessed 6 lawns already. And killed 3. That gave me everything I needed. My lawyer filed a civil suit for damages, trespassing, and harassment. I won. Karen was forced to pay for the full resodding of my yard, soil restoration, and legal fees. She showed up to court wearing a poncho covered in plastic leaves. She said it was symbolic armor. After losing, she stormed out screaming that the judge betrayed the Soil Alliance. The HOA finally removed her from the board. Apparently, even they had limits. The best part? Karen now has to stay 50 feet away from my property. Which is hilarious, because she still tries to glare angrily from across the street while pretending not to look at me. My grass has recovered beautifully. Better than ever. And every time I water it, I make sure to do it right at 8:58 a.m. just to honor the moment this chaos started. Karen walks by, sees my lush, perfect lawn, and her eye twitches. I wave at her. She turns away dramatically, mumbling something about unbalanced soil spirits. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how my neighbor tried to kill my lawn in the name of the earth, and ended up killing her HOA career instead. Thanks for watching HOA Stories. Subscribe for more stories.